Included with the Simplex Elite mat cutter is a baseboard, a hinging guide rail, production stops, a parallel mat guide in aluminum channels, and a 27-inch squaring arm with production stop. It also includes a pull-style bevel cutting head. It features an anti-crawl pin, start and stop indicators, and nylon guides that allow it to hook onto the side of the guide rail. Also included is a pull-style straight cutter with 3 depth settings. It also includes nylon guides that allow it to hook onto the side of the guide rail. Also included is a glass cutting head with a hardened steel wheel. It also connects to the side of the guide rail and comes with a small bottle of cutting fluid. Also included is a Plexi acrylic cutter with a fold-out blade. Also included is a paper trimmer. This too will connect into the guide rail. The last of the accessories is an 8-ply bevel cutter. It features nylon guides, an anti-crawl button, and start and stop indicators. It too will hook onto the side of the guide rail. To install the aluminum mat guide channels, first find the rounded ends. Insert them facing into the middle of the baseboard. Now flip the baseboard over. Then install 1 screw into the bottom side of the baseboard into each mat guide channel to secure them in place. Insert the squaring arm in from the side of the board until the slot in the squaring arm lines up perfectly with the slot in the baseboard. Then tighten the screw to secure the squaring arm in place. To install a blade into the pull-style bevel cutting head, first loosen the retaining screw on the back of the cutting head. Then loosen the blade knob. Insert 1 blade sharp side down into the blade holder. Then retighten the blade knob. Rotate the blade holder down and retighten the retaining screw. To install a blade into the straight cutter, first remove the blade knob. Also remove the blade cover. Install a single blade sharp side down onto the blade holder. Replace the blade cover and the blade knob. The straight cutter features 3 different depths for storage, standard thickness mat board, and 3/16 foam board. To downsize a piece of mat board, first remove the slip sheet. Also remove the parallel mat guide. Insert a mat blank color side down into the machine, down against the squaring arm, and out to the number needed. Then slide the production stop and lock it in place. To set the depth on the straight cutter, loosen the blade knob and slide it out to the middle or standard thickness mat board setting. Hook the straight cutter onto the rail and pull back to make the cut. To bevel cut an opening, First, remove the slip sheet and set the parallel mat guide to the border size needed. In this example, 3 inches. Always ensure that a slip sheet is in the machine when bevel cutting. Insert the mat blank color side down up against the parallel mat guide. Using a pencil, mark all 4 lines on the back of the mat. Now see that the mat guide is against the parallel mat guide and against the squaring arm. Hook the bevel cutter onto the guide rail and align the start and stop indicator with the pencil line. To press the anti-crawl button, rotate the blade in, release the anti-crawl button, and pull back to the bottom line. Repeat this process for all remaining 3 sides. After the 4th cut, the window will drop out and you will have a perfectly beveled mat. To bevel cut a mat using production stops, remove the slip sheet and set the mat guide to the border size needed. In this example, 3 inches. Always use a slip sheet when bevel mat cutting. Insert the mat blank color side down against the parallel mat guide. Use a pencil to mark 1 single line on the back of the mat. Turning the mat clockwise, put the mat against the parallel mat guide and down against the squaring arm. Now set the bottom production stop to the same size 3-inch border. Hook the bevel cutting head onto the rail and align the start and stop indicator with the pencil line. Press the anti-crawl button, rotate the blade in, release the anti-crawl button, and pull back to the bottom stop. As you continue, the cut line in the back of the mat references where your next cut starts. Repeat this process for all remaining sides. After the 4th cut, the window will drop out and you will have a perfectly beveled mat. To size glass using the glass cutter, first remove the slip sheet and the parallel mat guide. Always use gloves when handling glass. Insert the glass to be sized into the machine, placing the edge of the glass along the squaring arm number that the glass is to be cut to. Add a drop of cutting fluid to the glass cutting wheel. Now hook the glass cutter onto the rail until the wheel is just over onto the edge of the glass. Using moderate pressure downward, pull across the glass to scribe. Slide the glass out so the scribe line is along the edge of the baseboard, and press down to snap off. To trim plexiglass in the Simplex mat cutter, first remove the slip sheet and the parallel mat guide. Insert the plexiglass into the machine with the edge along the squaring arm number that you wish to size it to. Set the guide rail down, and with the tip of the plexiglass cutter, make 3 passes scoring the plexiglass. After scoring, Flip the plexiglass over and reinstall it into the machine with the scribe lined up with the guide rail. Putting pressure down on the guide rail, lift up on the plexiglass to snap off the sized piece. To size paper in your Simplex mat cutter using the paper trimmer, first remove the mat guide, but leave the slip sheet in place. Insert your paper into the machine with the edge of the paper on the squaring arm number you wish to size the paper to. Set the guide rail down and connect the paper trimmer into the near end of the guide rail. Slide it to the far end of the paper, and pushing down on the forward edge of the paper trimmer, pull straight back to size your paper. To install a blade into the 8-ply cutter, first loosen the blade holding knob. Then remove the blade holding magazine. Install one Logan number 271 blade onto the magnetic magazine. Reinsert into the blade holder and retighten the blade knob. To cut an 8-ply mat, first set the mat guide to the border size needed. In this example, 2 inches. Now insert the mat blank into the machine, set down the guide rail, and mark all 4 borders. Hook the 8-ply mat cutter onto the rail and line up the green start line with the pencil line. Holding down the anti-crawl pin, insert the blade, release from the anti-crawl pin, and pull back to the red line. Always make sure to rotate the blade out of the mat before lifting the guide rail. Repeat this process for the remaining 3 sides. After the final cut, you will have a perfectly beveled 8-ply mat.